Hi everyone, my name is Farhan from Job Interviewology and we specialise in interview and career coaching. So in this video we're going to be covering a really important topic, which is about the subject of self-sabotage. Now most people are affected by self-sabotage. They just don't realise they're doing it, and in many cases, particularly when it comes to your career and your interviews, it can have a profound impact in limiting you in achieving your career goals, dreams and directions. Imagine realising that you are your own worst enemy. But we're going to look at some solutions to get around this. So the first type of self-sabotage that I want to discuss is imposter syndrome. Now this normally affects people who are doers. They're fantastic at doing, and because they're fantastic at doing, they don't feel the need to talk themselves up or boast about themselves. And this normally results in two issues. One is that because things come easy to you, you don't actually believe that what you're doing is actually great or amazing. But secondly, because people praise you, people say you're great at your job, you actually feel a little bit embarrassed because it comes easily to you. So you have to play things down and ultimately be a little bit modest. Now I'm all for being modest. It's not a bad thing at all. However, how this manifests itself is in certain situations, particularly when it comes to a job interview, that you can go in there and because you have constantly been modest and don't actually believe that what you've done is amazing, when they ask you why do you believe you're the best person for the job, you can't actually articulate a well put together response with conviction because you don't actually believe it. And this is where the self-sabotage occurs. So how do we solve this? Well, there's two simple techniques that I suggest you try. The first is list down all the amazing things that you've done throughout your career and throughout your life. And secondly, list down all the things that you believe you're really good at. Stick them on a wall, stick them on your mobile phone, stick them on your laptop, somewhere visible when you can see them. And then that's a reminder to you that you are amazing. And also it comes down to being fair with yourself. Just as much as it's easy for you to talk about your weaknesses, talk about your faults to yourself and other people, in this instance it's about being comfortable in talking about how amazing you are and the things that you're actually good at, and convincing yourself and reminding yourself that there are things that you're amazing at. And with that mindset of being fair with yourself, you will find that you will become more comfortable in those situations where you do need to promote yourself and do need to talk yourself up, that you actually do. Now the second type of self-sabotage is being a people pleaser. Now there's nothing wrong with being a people pleaser. They're normally the people that bring harmony to an environment or a room or the team, and they're normally a vital cog, and you are normally, if you're a people pleaser, loved by all your colleagues and all your friends. And part of being a people pleaser is of course the fact that you have to manage other people's egos and play down your own ego. However, what that ends up doing is putting you in situations where it's your moment to shine and you regress, you talk yourself down, or you don't speak at all. And in that situation, you end up self-sabotaging. This can also then manifest itself in having a self-deprecating sense of humour. Now there's nothing wrong with being self-deprecating, particularly within a social setting. I think it's fantastic. It's good to be able to laugh at yourself. But within a professional context, you should never make yourself the butt of the jokes, particularly when it comes to addressing your competence in actually doing the job. Because what ends up happening is that people, despite you joking, people actually end up believing subconsciously that you're maybe not as good as your job, despite you knowing you are. And also sometimes when you're under a lot of pressure, such as an interview, what you can end up doing is end up making fun out of yourself and self-deprecating because it's your pressure release to try to make everyone laugh. Now you might make everyone laugh in the interview room, but what you actually end up doing is planting that seed in the most important moment of your life. You actually end up talking down about yourself. So how do we solve this? Well, one of the important things is being self-aware and recognising when you're actually doing it. So you can identify in what kind of specific situation you are being self-deprecating. Now, it's something that you might not completely be able to take out of your repertoire, and it's absolutely fine, because being a people pleaser, you want to make people laugh. There's nothing wrong with that. However, the way to get around this is to not self-deprecate on anything that's directly linked to your job and your competence at doing the job. Joke about your ability in playing football, or the fact that you're not particularly great at basketball, or whatever it might be, but don't make your competence in the job the topic of the self-deprecation. So now, if you do fit into any one of these categories, I would really suggest you maybe consider some of the techniques that I've shown today and try to apply them and see if they're effective. So I hope you found this video useful and maybe even enjoyed the video. And if you did, why not give it a like, because it will really help us with the algorithm. And secondly, if you are interested in improving your career, improving your interviewing skills, and ultimately becoming the best professional you can be, or maybe consider pressing the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll have more content on the way. So until the next one, goodbye.